Mike Longton got a little loose there in the corner, and that's going to allow Sauls to move into third.
And Longton, he's dropping off the pace even more. There you see already the gap has opened up that much. He's coming up. That's Terry Armstrong Jr. again in the 2.
Well, he had some problems. We mentioned this earlier when we were coming back. Longton was very close to not getting out of the pits in time to start the second half of this race. And there he got loose again.
And he backed out of it big time. And Giles Thornton has caught up to him. Giles is right there in his mirror.
Wow, we're seeing Longton really struggling as there's the 14 car of Thornton.
Maybe, I wonder, I go back to think maybe when he got in the dirt a little bit, I wonder if he might be having the tire go down.
Wow. There you see Thornton. He has passed Longton into fourth spot here.
And Kevin Richards is going to pass Longton.
Yeah.
Falls out of the top 5. Problem.
Wow, Longton is having a problem here. He was right up nipping at the heels of the leader, Riddle, but now has fallen all the way back to 6th.
And he's going to be passed by Terry Armstrong Jr. in the Sportsman. And he's going to call it a day. Mike Longton slowing down. He's going to come in. Heartbreak for Mike Longton.
An unfortunate situation for the 2011 champ, and maybe that kind of goes to his year. Last year, winner of several big races. This year, he hasn't been able to break into that winning column yet. And he's having some problems as he heads into the pits.
And it looks like he's going to call it a day as he pulls in to his pit stall.
And so while they work on the car of Longton, who was in second place, there is the leader, Owen Riddle. Lap 128. Garrett Evans, the legend, in second, then Sauls, then Thornton. More of the Spokane 200 when we return to Spokane County Raceway next here on SWX. Spokane Speed Knot on SWX is brought to you by Spokane Power Sports, the oldest power sports dealer in Spokane, and we're proud to say the original is still the best. So we're seeing a little bit of space opening up now between Riddle, the leader, and the number 2 car, which is Evans. He's quite a way back. And actually, no, Sauls has overtaken Evans, and so Sauls is in second place.
Jay Sauls moves into second. And during the break, right before the break, we saw Mike Longton pull into the pits. He was having a problem. He's back out on the track right now. He got his problem fixed, and he's back out there. So Mike Longton rejoins the race. While we were at commercial, Kevin Richards in the 14, who had just moved into 5th, pulled into the pits and back out.
Yeah, he's back out there now as well, right after chasing Longton here. But there is the leader, Owen Riddle, as we are pushing 140 laps here in this 200-lap race.
And there is Jay Sauls in the 20, second place. Looking for some redemption, perhaps, after his Idaho 200 chances came up short. Kevin Richards pulling into the pits again in the 14.
Wow. That's unfortunate for Richards. He was having a great race. the two-time Idaho 200 champion. And one would have to wonder, this is twice in the pits in a very short amount of time.
And he's pulling into his stall. He's done.
Yeah.
Look out, Billy.
He's not happy. He about took out
another car off the
part
pace.
of his crew.
John Gamble.
Yep. And will he come in? He will not.
No. John Gamble staying out there. He's going to try to go another lap.
As Owen Riddle in the 10 car, he has led for quite a ways now in this race. Since the mid part of the race, in the mid 40s in the laps, he has taken over the lead in this race and has led ever since.
Oh, my bad. I was looking at Garrett Evans. Saw a blue car, and I was wondering where Jay Sauls was. Didn't see him coming. Then I realized, oh, it was the 64 I was watching. Wrong blue car. So there's Owen Riddle. Jay Sauls in the number 20.
Still in second. Evans in third. The 88 car of Rusty Webb, I think he is a slower car at this point in time.
He is a lap down in the 88, yes. Third place is Garrett Evans. Fourth place will be Giles Thornton in the 12.
There's getting to be quite a little bit of space between all these cars.
We've gone caution-free since that restart. We've gotten 43 laps into this run. The second half, just like we thought, going to click off real quickly. It's Owen Riddle out in front. He has opened up a nice lead over Jay Sauls.
Nearing the halfway point of the second half of this race. So, in other words, getting very close to 3/4 of the way done.
Just about into the fourth quarter.
And there is Owen Riddle.
In lap traffic, so let's keep an eye on Jay Sauls now. Let's see if he can close up any, as Owen Riddle held up by some slower cars. This could play into Sauls' favor, as Sauls is able to run quicker than Riddle, while
Riddle makes his way through this traffic. Sooner or later, though, Sauls is going to have to do the same thing.
And he's caught up, so Jay Sauls is going to begin picking his way through, starting with Travis Allen.
For our folks who are maybe not as familiar with racing, what's the etiquette there when you have slower traffic? Are they supposed to move inside? Are they supposed to move outside? What's going on?
Normally they'll get the signal from flagman Larry Brown up on the flag stand. It's a blue flag with a yellow stripe, as Riddle kind of took my breath away there. There you see the blue flag with the yellow stripe. That's telling the lap cars, hey, the leader's coming, move over, let them go through. So the lap cars are going to move out of the way and let the faster cars go through, as Jay Sauls looks like he's negotiating that traffic a little better than Riddle did, so he might be able to close the gap a little bit.
He has made up a little bit of ground from the looks of it.
They dive into turns 1 and 2. He definitely has made up some ground. But Riddle now has a little bit of time before he catches up to Braden Havens and Garrett Sawyer, as Jay Sauls now has to deal with the 41 of Andy Brown. There's the gap. Riddle in the 10, Sauls in the 20.
And Brown was one of the guys in that 41 car that's just ahead of Sauls right now, but he's a lap down at least at this point in time. That was in the chase for the championship. He was in 5th place, 12 points behind Eric Hargraves, the leader coming in. 2 of those top 5 drivers are out of the race at this point in time. So Brown trying to maybe sneak into get into that top 3 at the end of the day.
Riddle looks boxed in here as he's got Sawyer and Havens. That's going to allow Sauls just a little bit. Sauls is there. Say hello. Jay Sauls has caught Owen Riddle.
And
Riddle dives low.
Go inside, Sauls going out. And
Sauls
is a little loose in that corner, but holds on.
Has to check up. So that's going to allow Riddle some time to pull away, and he's got some clean airs. It is quite a while up to Eric Hargraves, who is the next car for Owen Riddle. Jay Sauls had a shot at getting the lead from Owen and just slipped up going into turn 1 and 2. Tough break. He's got to fight back. He's got plenty of time, though. Still almost 50 laps.
And what this has also done is allowed that 64 car, Garrett Evans, to get back up close into the 2nd place position one more time to make a run at Sauls.
He's coming up on that lap traffic right now. And the first car he's going to catch is Braden Havens. There you see Evans, and you saw the back bumper of Havens. There's Havens.
So he's got to negotiate that traffic, which is what Sauls and Riddle both have already done, so that's probably going to slow him down a little bit here and allow those cars to retake a pretty good lead, and that's indeed what is happening here.
Kind of curious to see how Sauls is running in comparison to Owen Riddle. Two very, very strong cars.
Sauls out of Western Washington. Riddle out of the Yakima Valley. Racers coming in from all over here, the Spokane 200. We mentioned it earlier, from Arizona, from Nevada, from Canada, from Montana, as well as the state of Washington.
And
more a wider, I guess, diversity of areas than what maybe we saw last year, would you say?
A little bit.
A few more drivers.
Yeah, Owen Riddle, he came once last year, but focused on the track championship in Yakima, so he came to Spokane this year, and he brought his younger brother Taylor from Yakima. Jay Sauls making his first ever start here at Spokane. A lot of guys here making their first starts in Spokane.
That speaks to me volumes about the future of this racetrack.
Hey, I can't wait. It looks just better and better and better. So Owen Riddle catching lap traffic again. Let's see what Jay Sauls can do this time. First up is Terry Armstrong in that too.
Gets around him, no problem at all. Here comes Sauls in the 20 car.
Sauls gets around no problem as well. Coming up on the Hargraves in the 51 and David Garber in the 93 now is Owen Riddle. Lap 160, 40 to go. It's Owen Riddle and Jay Sauls, your top two.
We have not had a whole lot of movement, but the one movement that we've seen is Sauls. He went up from 6th, maybe 7th there at the midway point into the number 2 spot.
Did a fantastic job. He pulled into the pits earlier tonight, and Jay Sauls up there in 2nd.
Evans holding on to number 3. That's where he was. The guy with the big drop down was Mike Longton, who had some problems. And he is back out on the racetrack.
Trying to see.
But he is well back.
Trying to see if I can find Longton out here. There he is.
Yep.
Turn 1.
Yep. Coming into the backstretch, headed the backstretch at this point in time. There he is.
There's your leader, Owen Riddle. He's gotten around Dave Garber. Here comes Jay Sauls.
Sauls passes on the inside. That's your race at this point in time. Riddle number 1 out there on the left side of the screen, and Sauls chasing him on the right.
But there's more traffic ahead. Ryan Tarr in the 83T and Eric Hargraves in the 51, and you see more cars in front of them.
And I think this is going to be the way things are getting spaced out here. There isn't a whole lot of open track here.
Not really. So we'll see who this favors, as Ryan Tarr is off the pace in that 83T. Wonder if he's going to pull into the pits. Yes, he is. So Ryan Tarr into the pits again. Saw him with a flat tire earlier. That right front was flat. They changed it out. And he's going to call it a day.
Pulling into the stall there as you see the leader in Riddle coming up on some more traffic, trying to negotiate. I think it's Hargraves.
This is Hargraves getting down the crunch time here at the Spokane County Raceway Super Oval. Owen Riddle, he's looking for the first ever driver to win 3 in a row. He was already the first driver to win 2. Technically, it would be 3 in a row because he did not race in the third race of the year, which was won by Jake Bissett. So he's looking to stay unbeaten.
Yeah, he won the 2 races in June, did not race in the July race here, correct?
Correct. His car was damaged in an accident in the Montana 200. He was not able to race that night, so Jake Bissett was able to take the win, but Sauls is there. Lap traffic has worked for Sauls this time. They go around Travis Allen. Now they go on Hargraves, who was your points leader. Coming in, Sauls is there. We got a battle for the lead.
Hargraves has been tenacious trying to hang on to this spot because he's the points leader at this point in time. He doesn't want to go another lap down. And he's had problems with this car all day, but Riddle has not been able to get around him.
And that's going to open the door for Sauls as he gets around John Gamble in the 74. Here comes Sauls. Riddle at the checkup. Jay Sauls is there.
But he can't quite get around him here.
Has to check up again. Yep. But Riddle is being held up by that 51. So watch for Jay Sauls to try and pull a little sneak move on Riddle. Flagman telling them, hey, you guys move out. Leaders are here. So Jay Sauls, I'm anticipating a move from Jay Sauls here. He's going to maybe see if he can get a run on Riddle down the backstretch and see if he can get Riddle hung up behind Hargraves long enough for him to make the pass. That's the move that most drivers like to use.
A lot of traffic right now.
A lot of traffic. Terry Armstrong Jr. in the 2 again. Let's see if Sauls can make that move work. Sauls qualified 10th compared to Owen Riddle 4th, but Sauls is the better car on the track as of now as they work through traffic. That was Clint Habart coming up now on Rusty Webb. Hargraves is the last car on the lead lap. Here comes Riddle, no! And he's going to be boxed in behind Rusty Webb and Eric Hargraves. This could be the opening Sauls needs.
Can he get the inside? But he can't because Rusty Webb's on the inside in the 88 car.
Getting down to the final go here at the Spokane Canyon Raceway Super Oval. This is your race for the lead. Owen Riddle in the 10. Ooh. Jay Sauls in the 20. Good save by Hargraves. Riddle looked like he finally had enough of being behind Hargraves, but Jay Sauls is right there.
So Riddle is the leader. Sauls in second, and it's a tight race. We'll be back, and we'll have the final laps of the Spokane 200 from Spokane County Raceway coming up next here on SWX. Tonight's race coverage is brought to you by Haskin Steel Company, a proud sponsor of Spokane Speed Night here on SWX. We are getting toward lap 182, and there is your race. Owen Riddle has led for the majority of this race, but Jay Sauls has caught him and is threatening the pass here.
Sauls, without a doubt, the better car through lap traffic, and it looks like lap traffic took a toll on Riddle. He might have used up his stuff. Here comes Jay Sauls on the outside. Battle for the lead at the line. Dead even. Sauls out in front. He cuts the nose out. New race leader, Jay Sauls in the 20.
First time Sauls has led this race, and the first time we have had a change in the lead in well over 100 laps.
Since about lap 45 was when Owen took over. So Jay Sauls, he leads the lap.
So Sauls out of Puyallup in the lead. And the number 2 car at this point in time is Riddle, and there's a long ways back to get to the 64 car in Garrett Evans.
Garrett Evans stuck in traffic right now in that 64. Here's a replay of the pass. You see Sauls right now in turns 1 and 2 getting a run on Riddle. Riddle closes the door. And coming down the backstretch, Sauls gets a run on Riddle, and down the front stretch, it's a horsepower race. And Sauls gets him going into turn 1. Textbook pass by Jay Sauls.
Veteran racer in the 20 car, passing some of the slower traffic. They had some open room there a little while ago, but now they're going to start getting back into lap traffic again, into that slower traffic. And we'll see if anything changes, but Sauls is putting a little ground between himself and Owen Riddle right now.
Makes me think Owen Riddle might have used up all his stuff trying to outrun Sauls. His car just might not be as strong anymore, as Jay Sauls was able to outmuscle him. As Jay Sauls has put quite the gap between himself and Riddle in a short amount of time, and it is almost a half a lap back before we see Garrett Evans in the 64.
And he is solid in the number 3 spot at this point in time,
as it is another long ways back to Giles Thornton in the number 12 and 4th.
In fact, it's getting fairly close to where the leader Sauls he's much closer to lapping the 4th place car in Thornton.
He's got about a straightaway between Thornton and himself right now, so with the laps winding down, Jay Sauls has checked out.
In his first appearance in Spokane, can he win the Spokane 200?
He's a former Northwest Tour winner, so he's still looking for that first major win. Could come right now. There you see Owen Riddle in the number 10. Led by far the most laps.
Will that help him in the race for the point title?
It should help him. It should help him. I believe it's 1 extra point for leading a lap, or leading the most laps. I believe so. I would have to double check though.
Well, they're coming right down to the wire here. 10 laps to go. The chase for the seasonal championship is on the line. The chase for the race championship is on the line. Jay Sauls in the 20 car is the leader. There is the points leader overall, Eric Hargraves. Will it be enough for Hargraves to hold on? The 2nd place man, Taylor Riddle, the 3rd place driver, Bissett, both out. Jake Bissett, both out of this race early. And so will he be able to hold on against that man, the 4th place driver, Owen Riddle, who's in 2nd in this race, but 4th overall for the season? Will Riddle be able to make out of enough points to overtake Hargraves?
He's in 2nd, and he's got a good gap between himself and Garrett Evans. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this as the laps wind down. Boy, Riddle's car is really, really falling off. He's a full straightaway back of Sauls now.
Well, Sauls running away with things as we're in single laps now remaining to go in this race.
Crunch time here at Spokane. Jay Sauls, he's looking for some redemption. He's got the 4th place car in his sights. Giles Thornton with a nice move there to split the gap between Travis Allen and Rusty Webb. Did a great job.
The 14-year-old hanging on tenaciously to 4th place as you see the leader, Sauls.
There's Giles Thornton in the 12.
Going on to the backstretch is Sauls. There's Thornton.
The laps are winding down here in Spokane.
I believe we're on 4 laps to go here as Sauls comes around. We'll see. Well, 5 laps to go. I was 1 off. 5 laps to go. And it looks like Jay Sauls is going to be your winner, barring something unforeseen. We've had a caution-free second half of this race.
It would be a first. That would be the longest green flag run in Dr. Pepper Super Late Model history. Already by far the longest green flag run in Dr. Pepper Super Late Model history.
Owen Riddle there in the 10 car. He's in 2nd, trying to get enough points to pass Eric Hargraves for the points championship in 2012.
Sauls coming down the front stretch. There you see 2nd place Owen Riddle. And it's a long ways back to 3rd place Garrett Evans as you look at Sauls. Once again, lapping Terry Armstrong Jr. Getting down. He's going to see the white flag. 1 lap to go for Jay Sauls in the 20.
1 lap for Sauls to win the championship here in the Spokane 200.
Half a mile away from victory. Now a 1/4 mile. Down the backstretch.
And he has almost the entire straightaway as far as the lead goes. With the number 2, with a 2nd place finisher in Riddle. Here comes Jay Sauls. He is the Spokane 200 champion. The driver out of Puyallup in his first trip here to Spokane County Raceway wins it here. He is somebody we did not see winning this race. great race run by him.
Excellent, excellent race by Jay Sauls. Pulled into the pits under a red flag. And there you see it right there. Jay Sauls, Spokane 200 winner in the number 20S.
Riddle in second, Evans in third, Thornton in fourth. Now the big question is, where did Hargraves finish, and will his point total be enough to keep that number one spot, or will Owen Riddle in his second place finish be able to vault over the top? I would say he's probably vaulted over the top.
I would say so too, but we gotta wait for the official scores to come in, all the tallies. We gotta wait for the word from the tower, so we will see if Hargraves is able to hold off Riddle, or if Owen Riddle has become the first driver ever to win the championship with only 3 races.
Owen Riddle, the only man to win 2 championships here in Spokane on this raceway. Trying to make it 3 tonight, but he was aced out by that man. Jay Sauls in his first race here. A great job in the second half of the race, vaulting up from, we believe, the 6th spot on the restart into that number 1 spot. Great job by his crew to make little adjustments there at the intermission to get his car running as well as it did there in the second half of this race.
Excellent job, and here is his reward.
Yep, you see the big trophy there, big trophies coming out, and Jay Sauls.
What an incredible run for that young man.
Out of Puyallup, Western Washington driver. I would think this will get him back here again, don't you?
I would think so. Unbeaten on this racetrack now. Crew members coming in, congratulating family members.
A great night for them. Jay Sauls, your Spokane 200 winner here in 2012.
He's taking all the safety gear off. Safety first here in the Dr. Pepper Super Late models. Wanted to make sure our drivers were safe. What a run for Jay Sauls. Executes redemption after being so close on the Idaho 200. He comes home and wins the Spokane 200 this time.
And so Riddle in at second, and Garrett Evans continues his great run so far this year. Second in the Apple Cup, 4th in the Montana 200, 6th in the Montana 212, 8th in the Coors Light Summer Showdown in Monroe, Washington. He adds a 3rd here in the Spokane 200, as there you see Jay Sauls getting out of his car, the 20S car, and he is the winner here this evening of the Spokane 200. Doug Pace is the PA announcer. Let's listen into the interview.
Way this car's good. I'm going to make some more changes. I think the old man's changes paid off.
Yeah, him and Shay did a great job. We kind of struggled today, but, man, we worked hard and never stopped, and this is awesome right here.
You know, Jay, you're a third-generation driver. You won a lot of races. You won a NASCAR races. This is $10,000.
I can't believe it. That's definitely going to help us right there, but this is one of the biggest ones right here. This is awesome.
And then finally, I know your grandpa, your dad, you try to do the right things as a driver to emulate what they've done. But again, even with all the things Mike Sauls has done across the Northwest, $10,000 and the Spokane 200 victory. It's taken a lot of good crew work and a lot of great sponsors to pull this off.
Definitely all my guys, my crew chief, Shay Grigsby, my dad, Donnie, Shay Jr., all my family. I got to thank 48th Street Pub and Grill, Scott's Motorsports, Kimball's Auto Body, Canyon Auto Paint Supply, and Jeff Bird for building those great motors.
From right here in the Pacific Northwest, he's the Spokane 200 winner, Jay Sauls.
So Jay Sauls, there you see him with the victory. Second place, Owen Riddle. Third place, Garrett Evans. Fourth place goes to Giles Thornton. The big question is going to be, did Riddle overtake Eric Hargraves for the championship for the season? We'll find that out a little bit later on. But congratulations to Jay Sauls tonight. He qualified in the 10th spot, but he wins the race here this evening.
Excellent drive for Jay Sauls. What a battle between him and Owen Riddle there in the closing laps of the race. Jay Sauls comes out on top, executes redemption for his Idaho 200 heartbreak. He gets home the win in the Spokane 200, beats out Owen Riddle, ending Owen Riddle's unbeaten streak at this racetrack this season, and he holds off Garrett Evans in the number 64, the four-time NASCAR Northwest champion, in third. Great race here. 200 laps of awesome late model racing. That's how we do it here at the Spokane County Raceway Super Oval.
Great race tonight. So we had an undefeated driver in Owen Riddle. No more with him. We still have an undefeated driver, though, in Chase Sauls. Thanks to the crew for an outstanding job here this evening. Greg, thanks for all the great work you did here this evening. We appreciate it. We'll see you here next year, I'm sure.
Thank you, Larry. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, very good. Chase Sauls, the Spokane 200 winner. Stay tuned. The motocross from the Airway Heights Motocross Park is coming up next for our entire SWX crew. And Greg Rentz, I'm Larry Weir. Thanks for watching here this evening. The Spokane 200, Jay Sauls, the 2012 champion.
Went to their rival Lakeside High School. A lot about them. I know a lot about Jake. Me and him always have some fun with that. But Jake Bissett is the youngest winner in Dr. Pepper's Super Late Model history. He is the most recent winner. He took home the RC Cola 100 back in July. Did a great job, and he is looking strong right now. Look for him to maybe get an upset victory again in that 96.
And he's one of the guys in that points chase to be the champion here this year.
That's right. Jake Bissett, fourth in points right now. Just a couple points back of Eric Hargraves.
Yeah, 101 points would put him 4 behind, I think, Hargraves. Sigh of relief you may have heard is the Freeman High School football coach.
Probably.
You don't want one of your star players to get injured in an auto crash a week prior to the season starting. But it's good to see there. Jake Bissett's had a tremendous year. His chase for the championship, though, ends in a disappointing way here this evening.
Tough break for Jake Bissett.
Third, as we mentioned a little bit ago, in the chase for the championship here at Spokane County Raceway. Here for the 2012 season, one of the 5 drivers within 12 points of one another, as Bissett came in the 3rd position, trailing Eric Hargraves, the leader, who we have not talked about very much here so far in this race. Taylor Riddle was 2nd, then Bissett was 3rd, then Owen Riddle 4th, and Andy Brown came in the number 5 spot. So, all right, explain why everybody stopped here at this point, Greg.
We're under a red flag as it's just too hazardous right now to move the cars through the accident area. So they're under a red flag until we can get Jake Bissett's car safely out of the way. There's just too many safety vehicles there. It's just a safer bet to just stop them on the backstretch and make sure we can get the track cleaned up. I didn't see any puddles, but there might be some. As there you see Jake surveying the damage, and we got to knock the wall back into place. As you see it, knock the wall back a little bit.
So they've got some track officials down there who will help to handle that.
We see Keaton Tarr, the youngest of the Tarr brothers and the youngest track official out here, surveying the damage. Here you see Jake Bissett's car. Tough break to see the Waddell's Pub car on the hook this early in the race.
So our leader is still Mike Longton, but a red flag here, our first red flag of the night. We've had a couple of cautions at least here in the early going. And there is your race. Owen Riddle has led for the majority of this race, but Jay Sauls has caught him and is threatening the pass here.
Sauls, without a doubt, the better car through lap traffic, and it looks like lap traffic took a toll on Riddle. He might have used up his stuff. Here comes Jay Sauls on the outside. Battle for the lead at the line. Dead even. Sauls out in front. He cuts the nose out. New race leader, Jay Sauls in the 20.
First time Sauls has led this race, and the first time we have had a change in the lead in well over 100 laps.
Since about lap 45 was when Owen took over. So Jay Sauls, he leads the lap.
So Sauls out of Puyallup in the lead.